Hello everyone, today I will be bringing you a short little tip to help you with instant 3x3 doors and other doors that use this similar mechanic. The mechanic that I will be talking about is the fact that for the last move of the instant 3x3, this move right here, where you are shuffling these blocks to get into place like that, technically it's during the same move as everything else, but I like to think of it as the last move because it normally is done with an Abbas like this. And so that last move like that can be done with the ABCCBA, similar to this, right? And that would look something like this, right? That would be what the last move looks like. But in fact, you don't have to use an Abbas, right? Because as you can see here, there is no wiring for the refire. Because in fact, if you have certain blocks that are immovables, you can refire it from the same place and it will work just fine. This is a better example here without the extra wiring. This first immovable has to be here for the closing of the door in order to block this piston right here from firing at the wrong time. Because the way this whole system works is that you share an input for this piston right here and this piston. As you notice, they're being run by the same dust line. And in order to make it fire in the order A, B, C, you must block the C piston from being able to fire when you don't want it to. And the same goes for the A piston on the open. So these two have to be immovable. The way you could wire this up is just with a chain of zero-tick repeaters, just like this. You just link the A1 into the B1, and then the B1 into the C1 right here. And this glass is just here so that when you power the A1, that line does not power this piston. Because redstone cannot travel down glass or slabs or any transparent blocks, even though it looks like it can. So, let me freeze the game here. 1, 2, 3, just like that. And, in fact, you can go the other way, 1, 2, 3. And the way this way works is the same shared input, except the A pulse this time will actually pulse this C piston first, because it's the only one not being blocked. So technically for the opening, you could just remove that immovable and it would still work fine. Firstly, on the close, the way you could set up this bottom immovable right here is in fact zero-ticking these pistons in and then setting up the push limit so this piston won't be able to fire when these get here. So you just have to make sure that those pistons fire before this first zero-tick repeater right here. So we just do that by having it run on the input signal. That will zero-tick these blocks and then they will become immovable because of this right here. So this is what the closing looks like. And you can just zero-tick this piston in. But then the cool thing about this is this door is not instant opening. So, in fact, you can just keep this piston powered, which creates that immovable for the first move of opening. Just like this. 1, 2, 3. And then, to make it 0.3 or 0.25 newest terms open, you can just retract that piston just like this. So this is what the setup would look like, and then I went ahead and wired perhaps the worst instant 3x3 door with all of these mechanics in action. Just like that, instant close. And then if I power the input again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, just like that. And you can see I just copied this over here and turned it into yellow for the wiring, and the only part that we fire of this Abbas, even though I didn't have to use an Abbas, is this part right here. I'll show it to you again with just that wiring being in view. Right here is the close, and here is the open. This piston right here is the only one that is getting powered. It is getting powered from the input for the open, and then at the end of the chain for the close. Don't worry about the scuffed wiring for the rest of this door. It was built in about 20 minutes, and the hardest part was making it non-locational. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a short little dive into some of the little niche things that you can learn to improve your zero tick doors. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good one. Bye bye.